This should be a Goose Island tap handle, and we'll check and see. Hopefully it is, and yes, in fact it is. Okay, I'm quite excited about this. I love Goose Island tap handles. Just like one of those things when I started doing things with tap handles, the Goose Island was just one of the ones that I immediately thought of. They've just got such an iconic tap handle. It's a great figural tap, really, really nice design. They've got a couple of different variations, so it is important to kind of note what they are and to get an idea of what you're looking for, but we will cover this one. And then at some point, I'll cover some of the other ones and maybe do a comparison or something like that. But Goose Island tap handle, this is kind of like their larger or standard size. They do have smaller ones as well. I'm a big fan of those ones, but this one is the larger one. And there's a couple things to look out for with the Goose Island ones, depending upon the version. They've got some very old ones that have a significantly different design to this, a different shape, and I think that some of them are actually like fully hand carved. I don't know if there's a difference between their prediction methods, but just worth noting. And one of the things you want to keep an eye out for these is obviously you want to check them out for any damage. It is a figural tap, so that means that it is a little bit more prone to some damage for any of the little more fragile areas. For these ones, you want to keep an eye on the beak. It's not uncommon for there to be a little bit wear or some cracking or chipping. That is totally acceptable and normal for it. But you do want to make sure that you don't have like the beak fully broken off or anything like that. That'd be something to make it so that be less than desirable. You also want to keep an eye out for the eyes. So the eyes are going to be an indicator of the model or the design. So this one has the slightly bigger eyes. There's ones that have smaller eyes. And then there's a couple of other elements that you'll notice. So you've got this kind of shield here on the front. With Goose Island, you may have a logo, a label or logo here. You may not. This one is the curved shield or the curved plate, which is a good design. Looks pretty good. And you also may see multiple labels over here if people had switched them out. Totally okay, totally normal, all depending upon your preference and what you're looking for. This one does have the Goose Island IPA on the back, which is just kind of a little bit nice. You'd also expect that to match with whatever is on the front. If you don't have a match, that'd be a little bit weird, but that's also totally fine. With this one, it is very notable that you want to keep an eye on the ferrule down here because they've got a couple of different versions of these with different ferrules for the attachment to the tap handle faucet. So this does have the 3/8/16. If you look at it from the inside, it kind of looks like it's 3/8/16 going all the way through, but it's a little bit of a catch because I'm going to show you something here. So with any Goose Island tap handles, you want to check and see what is going on with the ferrule attachment. Let me see if I can actually do this. It's kind of funny because normally this is a little bit easier. There we are. So you may have not been expecting that, but this is what it looks like here. And this is actually magnetized. So you've got two magnets, so a magnet on the inside down here, as well as a magnet on the actual ferrule portion that'll make it kind of attach. I was struggling with it a little bit because I was trying to do that one-handed, and also because this one is a slightly stronger magnet. Some of them will be a little bit weaker, but it's very important to note that because if you're trying to attach it to anything, especially if it's going to be upside down or you're going to be pulling on it, then you just want to make sure that you know that that most likely will just be able to come off. That is actually designed so that you can have a different one and you can kind of swap it out very quickly if you need to do any rapid changes between the beers that you have on tap. But it just means that it will work well as a decorative item like this. If you did pick one up from them and you have one in your collection, but it means that it won't work as well if you're trying to use it as a handle. So I do sometimes use these tap handles as umbrella handles. They make amazing umbrella handles when you have the other model. For this one, you wouldn't want to use this as an umbrella handle because of the fact that that is just going to come off, and so your handle will no longer be attached to your umbrella. So, great tap handle, wonderful design, but you just do want to be aware that that is a magnetic attachment, and you want to keep that in mind for whatever you're doing with it and however you're attaching it to other items. But